of the biggest lessons that I learned of my time at Step Up is that you're not alone. There are a number of women going through similar struggles and are more than happy to lend an ear or some advice. So, whether you are a working woman or a student right now, just know that there are women around you who are there to support you. And that's what Step Up does. It helps bring all these women together, it helps bring the community, it helps empower us women.
Hi, everyone. Are we on?
I think so.
Okay, yay!
Wow, what a beautiful intro.
That was a beautiful intro. Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us for this special Step Up Together event. We're talking about the joys of true female friendship, which Sophie and I have. And so, yeah, they sent us some questions, so we can jump right in and
Yeah, let's do it.
let's do it. Okay. How did the two of you become close friends, and what did you bond over?
I just realized that we didn't exactly do introductions, so this is great because this is our introduction story too.
Oh yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Melissa Fumero.
and I'm Stephanie Beatriz, and we are on a sitcom comedy on NBC called Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and that's actually how we met.
Yes, it is. We were actually connected right before we shot the pilot through our mutual friend Gina Rodriguez. She sent us both an email or a message and was like, "You both just booked this pilot and I know both of you, so here you go." And we were like, "Yay!
Yay! Great! Congratulations! Could you ever have in a million years dreamed? No, me neither."
Yeah.
That's how we met. And then I think we had some just sort of normal discussions in the beginning, like, aren't you excited? How are you gonna wear your hair to the table read? Pilot table read.
That was a big one. And it was kind of both our first big thing.
Yes, I would say for sure for me. I think you've had more of a television career than I've had.
Yeah, but this was the first pilot I had done, and this was the first series regular kind of gig.
It was a big deal. We were very excited. Both of us.
It was a big deal. I think that was the early bonding thing of just, because everyone else had sort of done things, and Chelsea too, that, we kind of had that in common with her, but since she had worked on Parks and Rec, it felt like she knew a lot of the people. So
yes.
I think you and I felt like the most newbies, and we kind of clung to each other because of that.
Yeah. Especially during the pilot, but really afterwards too, because the more that we chatted, the more that we realized we had a lot in common in terms of career, choices that we've made, but really choices that other people had made about us without our, I don't want to say consent because I think that's the wrong word, but I think for many women of color in the entertainment industry, but specifically Latinas, because I'm going to speak to specifically our experience has been, that we were oftentimes put in a box of the types of characters that we were allowed to play or how people quote unquote wanted to see us. And now we were being allowed to play these roles that really felt much closer to real women that we had either met or imagined that we could be. And I think that was really, really super bonding for both of us because it was this moment of oh no, we're not playing cousins. We're two cousins on a TV show that aren't playing cousins, and we could have different cultural backgrounds. We don't know, and that was very bonding and exciting, especially in the beginning for sure. I was like, what are we doing here? This is amazing. What's happening? Are you on this ride? This is great,
Yeah,
really
just
fun.
Our mind being blown every day.
Yes.
Okay. What are the characteristics? Got it. What are the characteristics you look for in a friend, and what is most important to you?
Melissa, you go first.
That's a good
That is
question.
a great question. And a question you should ask yourself. I think we forget to ask ourselves that question.
So important. It's so true. And I think it changes too as you get older and you evolve. And yeah, it's, friendships are so much like relationships. I think the characteristics I look for are a sense of humor, for sure. I got a lot of funny friends.
Yeah.
I think honesty is a big one for me. I've got a pretty good meter for when people are not being totally truthful.
Lucky you.
Huh?
I said lucky you.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I've definitely been wrong. I've definitely been burned.
Has it honed over the years? Like, do you think?
I think so. And if I just get even a sense of that, I'm like, no thanks. No.
Yeah.
Like, I just want people, I mean, you don't have to like, show all your cards. Like, I appreciate privacy and like whatever, but just honesty, just like authenticity, just, not afraid to be yourself. Not afraid to tell me what you think, even if you disagree with me.
Right.
I like getting in like debates with my friends. I like kind of, just talking things out, yeah, I think probably those two are like the biggest ones for me.
Yeah, I think I mean, I would agree. Like, meaning, I think those are very high up on the list for me. A great sense of humor, because like, otherwise, why are we friends?
Yeah.
I have enough people in my life that I have to make small talk with. You know what I mean? Like, hey, how was your weekend? Like, I don't need to do that with my close friendships. Honesty, I think, is a huge one. And I know that there's varying degrees of that with different friendships, but I think with my closest female friendships especially, it's really important, for people to be forthcoming, at least with the things that they're willing to share. I know obviously some things are private, some things are, whether you've been through a traumatic experience or you're going through something really hard, or you're struggling in whatever way. And I don't want to be anyone's therapist, but at the same time, I also don't want to feel like I want to feel like in my friendships that when you're telling me something, I'm getting the whole story, and I'm not going to hear from someone else like, oh, that's not the whole story at all. Actually, this and this and this and this, the other happened.
Yes.
Because it's that, what is that? I think it's Japanese, that Rashomon story, where it's like the same story from like 3 different angles, like 3 different characters have a completely different.
Oh, I don't think I know this.
Yeah, I can't remember what the story is, but it's like a maiden, a hunter, and something else, and like they all tell the same story, and it's like a completely different point of view. And that is not something that I'm interested in experiencing with my good friends. I think and that's taken me a long time to learn. That's something that I don't, because I do think I fall for people that are like, it's so fun and it's so like, ooh, you're so interesting, and like we went to this cool museum and like you wear really cool clothes, and I don't know what book you're talking about. What is that? So I get caught up in sort of the love affair of the beginning of the friendship, and I turn a blind eye to things that are like red flags, which are like, her phone keeps getting shut off, or like, or like, she has never let me see the inside of her apartment, even though I've been friends with her for a year, which is things like that are, or like, yeah, whatever kind of nonsense is happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also, in terms of honesty, I need a friend who is not afraid to like call me out, or like when I go with my stuff, like it's my closest girlfriends, it'll be like, I think you're just overthinking this, or are you doing that thing where you're like squashing it all down and just being like, everything's okay, because it's not like, oh God, those are the moments where I'm just like, I love you. I'm so thankful to have you in my life, because that is what I'm doing. And you're right. I need to like deal with it, or whatever it is. That I think is, and I try to be that for my
You're
friends.
very good at that. You're very good
Oh,
at that.
thanks.
You are. But you do it in a really gentle way, which is like, have you thought about, this? Which is like, ooh, I hadn't wanted to think about that, but now I guess I have to because we're having this conversation. And that's such an underrated thing in friendships, because you just don't want somebody that's always going to be like, oh no, yeah, you're making every decision right, which is like, you're not always. You really
No, man, none of us are perfect. Like, we all mess up. Like, we all have our things and our tendencies and our patterns. And like, I just think when I feel like a friend really has my back when they are not just like guessing me all the time, or just like,
something else that you did that I thought was so amazing, and we were talking about it last night, was like, you've been so honest about like the ups and the downs of motherhood, and like pregnancy, having a baby, having a toddler. It's like, you've been like, this part is amazing, you'll never feel ever as good as this feels, this part is trash. Like, and I don't think many moms, I mean, I will say this, I'll qualify by saying, like, many moms that I have met in the past have not really shared those more difficult, challenging, or like even just like challenging information, which is like, nobody tells you that, and I think that that's something too. It's like, you don't want to, I want like the straight sort of like, I want, how is it really? Like, how is it really?
Me too. I felt so duped when I was first pregnant, and I was like, why didn't anybody tell me it was going to be like this? And then, and then when I had Enzo, I'm forever grateful and indebted to the women in my life that were like, so here's what it's really going to be like when that baby comes out. And like, here's what you need to do for the first like month or two. And like, this is for real. Like, this is not going to be pleasant. And just like prepare yourself for the worst. And yeah, and since we're talking about like female friendships, that's been like another beautiful thing is, once you become a mom, you find these, there's like this whole new level of just like deep female appreciation and just friendship that blossoms from this experience you're having, and like this kinship you feel with other women that is really incredible. Like, I've always considered myself a feminist, but when I had kids, I was like, oh, I'm like, I will take to the streets. I will like, I will throw down for some women. Like, not that I didn't feel like that, but it just like everything just became so much more intense because I was like, women are amazing.
Yeah, because you've accessed something different. You've accessed a new part of yourself,
Yeah.
And that can happen. It doesn't necessarily have to happen when you have kids, but anytime you're accessing a new part of yourself.
For me it was that.
You just it's like a step into appreciating other women that have come that way before you, and that is like, oh dang, I didn't know what y'all were doing over here. I didn't realize. Oh, this is what you guys have been doing, and not like complaining about it every second of every day or whatever,
Oh like, my God, like, why isn't there like a women's parade every year?
There is a march.
There's a march, but there should be like a festival or a parade or something. Damn, fireworks. Okay. Let's see, what's next? Ooh, this is a good one. Okay. Oftentimes close friends widen our perspective. What is something that you have taught each other?
Oh, I think you've really taught me to like, I think when we started Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I was way more unsure of my abilities. And I think that you, sometimes by example and sometimes by like actual just like direct conversation, I've been like, why are you doubting yourself? Like, you belong here just as much as anybody else. You should ask for what you want. You should go for the things that you desire, like you should, like, if someone tells you no, then that, like, okay, then like go a different route. But it's not, you really taught me to allow myself to like not stop my own growth before it even starts.
Aw, I was gonna say something very similar about you. I'm like, I don't remember saying that to you, but I remember you saying that I I've always just seen you as just so, I mean, confident and like sure of yourself. And I've always loved
Lies.
and
I mean, lies up to a certain point, and then I was like, oh yeah, this is probably coming from somewhere real.
no, but when it comes to the job, you're like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I want to do. Like you're, whereas I'm sort of sometimes like, I don't know, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. I'm going to give you all these options. Here you go. Is it good? And I've also really admired how you are constantly, you're always like evolving and not changing is not the right word, but I like the growing and challenging yourself and questioning yourself and your beliefs and what you think. And that's really influenced me to think about those things more and think about, and even just like, and sometimes it's even just the way you like change your style all the time and go through like these fun phases of like it's your nails or your makeup or like how you dress, and you just have so much fun with it, and that too has like really inspired me to be like, I don't have to like be in this box I've always been in, yeah, so I feel like you're just this like beautiful free spirit, and I've loved that about you and being around you, and I no, it's true, and I feel like that's
really
I've tried to like let as much of that in, because it's just so wonderful and beautiful, and so to just I can be a little type A, so
Printed out the questions.
I did. I printed out the questions.
I was like, I don't know what we're doing exactly. Like, I think we're gonna talk about our friendship. Melissa was like, I have the questions right here. But I think so. This brings me. This is like thematically what we're talking about is really important, because I think the more that you surround yourself with women who you see something in them that you admire or you enjoy or you respect or you're challenged by, and not challenged by like in a dangerous way, but challenged by in a way of like, oh, I wonder if I could also try to live out
in ways that like
or whatever
inspire you to step up or to be your best self. Or
I mean, I'm gonna tell the story that I've told before, but like that day that I got the audition for, it was like a series of events. It was like, oh, they're making In the Heights. We were like chatting in the transpo van. We were like, what part would be good? What part would be good? Carla. And then the day that I got that audition, I was like, I don't know, man. I'm not a singer. And you were like, absolutely not. You better get up. You better get a voice lesson. Just get a voice lesson. You get ready to go. You get ready. And then you go in there. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. But you have to go in. And I was like, oh, right. I have to go in. I have to not stop myself from the possibility of, right? But that only would have happened with a female friend that like A, has strengths that maybe aren't your strengths, and B, is willing to be like, you can do that, like people that like lift you up instead of people around you that are like, yeah, I don't know if that's right for you,
Oh God. Ugh. You just like gave me a pit in my stomach when you said that. Don't have those friends.
No, don't have those friends.
How are we on time? We're so good on time. Great. Let's see. What's your favorite memory of each other so far in your friendship? Oh, I have to think about this.
I do too. I don't know because for us, our friendship is also built into our work relationship. So there's a lot of milestones that are work milestones that also are friendship milestones. So I really don't know. I mean, I have so many fun memories, but I know.
I would say favorite work memory would be I'm like trying to decide between a bunch.
That's how I feel. I have one in my head that was a really fun one for me, though. I have one specifically, and I want to see if you say it.
Oh gosh. Well, my mind keeps going to the Golden Globes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
because I was freaking out on the edge of crying the whole time and then did uncontrollably cry when we won. But and then you were like, I could tell you had like a lot of like that energy inside you, but you were like so calm and collected on the surface. And I was like, just try to be like Stephanie. Just try to be like Stephanie. I was just, and I just remember watching you a lot that night and just, yeah. And then it's like a lot of like little moments. Oh, wait, a really funny one is, sorry, this is TMI though. When we went to the bathroom together. Bathroom buddies for the Golden Globes because
we couldn't get out of our dresses.
So that was like, and that we didn't know each other that long at that point. And that's how quick, that was like such a testament to how quickly we bonded because it was like, so I don't know how I can go to the bathroom in this dress. And I don't know whose idea, but we were just like, no, we're going to go to the bathroom together tonight. Like we are bathroom buddies. I'll hold your dress. You hold mine. And that's what we did.
That was legitimately, it was like, keep it up off the floor. It costs a lot of money. I don't know who owns it. Not me. It's not me. I was gonna say the day that you directed the first episode that you directed of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
my scene where I was by myself in the closet, like opening the closet door with my chin.
yes.
It was so fun. It was so fun because it was like all the things that I want in a comedy director you were doing, which was like coming in fast, giving notes immediately, like laughing at stuff, like saying like, yeah, try this. Oh, why don't you try this? Why don't you try this? Or like, it just kept, it was no, I think for me as an actor in comedy, and I fail at this as a director, but I'd like to get better. I think the hard thing is when you're shooting something that's funny to keep feeling like it is funny as you move through an hour of shooting the same thing.
That is hard.
And so when someone comes in and every time they come in, they're like it makes you feel like, oh, okay, I'm doing something, even though I can't hear anybody laughing. I'm doing something funny because they are responding, and not in a fake way. They're responding to the thing that I just tried, that they just saw.
Yeah.
And I really remember having a really good day that day, like having some, except for when I dropped. Remember, I had like my treat that I had brought to work. It was like a chocolate.
Yes.
And I dropped it on the floor. My hands were covered. Stupid. Oh, but everything else was great. That day was great.
Oh gosh, I remember that too. When you directed, I loved it so much when we were doing that big scene with Andy. And I was like, God, this would only happen when the director is your good friend, where you just like speak in a shorthand, you know? Like I just remember you were so supportive and you made me feel so confident that day. But then it was just also this like back and forth we had where I have memories of you coming in just saying like 2 words and me being like, yep. Like I just always knew, you know? And I was like, does anyone else like even understand what she and I are talking about? Like, and it was so great. And I was like, oh gosh, if it could be like this, like every time, like it's such a gift to get to have that close of a relationship with someone that's directing you.
Yeah, that's like that's the dream. And I think that's why directors and actors collaborate over and over, so they can get to that place of
definitely
of that shorthand, because it makes everything faster. And
it's dreamy.
Yeah.
¿Y
qué más?
¿Qué más? Let's see. What do you think is your best strength as a friend?
Oh, I think my best strength as a friend is also my biggest, like, not downfall. That's too it's too tragic. That's like very Game of Thrones, like my downfall. But I think sometimes I can be like, I can be really generous.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's really a great way to be with your friends. But I think at the same time, it's said this to you yesterday. It's like, who do you invite into your garden? My friend Amanda said that. It's like, who do you invite into your garden? Because some people that you're going to invite into your garden are going to step all over the stuff that you carefully planted, you're going to turn around and be like, where are my tomatoes? Like, they're gone. You know, so I think it can be, you just have to be like, once someone is inside, once you decided like, okay, I trust this person, you know, I trust them, I think they're trustworthy, reliable, generous of spirit, you know, once you invite people like that in, then it's like, share the bounty. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think I am like really generous with my time, my listening. I don't know how to say that. Like, you know.
You are.
Yeah.
And you
like,
give really thoughtful gifts.
thank you.
You do. You're very thoughtful that way.
What do you think is your biggest strength as a friend?
I think, no. I think my biggest strength, and like you can also be a weakness sometimes, is that I will be honest no matter what.
I was going to say your directness is such a strength.
But it also sometimes like I've upset friends by like not being sensitive enough or like going too far or being like, oh, stop it, you know, like a little too harsh. I think I've gotten better at that with age. It also like, it depends on the person, you know? And I have some friends that like now like want that for me, and some friends that are like, I don't need to be challenged just yet.
I'm just here for a sounding board right now.
I'm here for a sounding board. Don't Melissa me yet. And I'm like, okay, got it.
Okay.
You know?
Yep, sure.
And I think I'm not like with my close friends, you can tell me anything and I will not judge you.
Yeah.
Like, because I just believe strongly in that. Like,
Yeah.
you can tell me anything and I'm not going to shade you, you know, like I don't know, like I'm not, and it's, yeah, you know?
Yeah. I have a hard time with the judgment thing when it's like, when I feel that my friend is like making dangerous choices.
Oh yeah. I mean,
that's when I'm like, I don't know how to be that's something that I find challenging and that I'm like working on, because it's like, how do I be a friend to you in this moment, but also be like, you're driving off a cliff right now, like this is a cliff and you're
see, that's where I'm like in between, because I will be that friend that's like, what are you doing? You're gonna drop off a cliff.
No, yeah.
But you have to say that sensitively, you know, depending on what the person's going through, and it's challenging. But yeah, I can't keep my mouth shut in those situations.
Yeah, I've had.
I won't make you feel bad about it. I won't be like, I think you're, you know.
Right. What are you doing?
Right? Yeah, no.
What are you doing with your life? It's like, okay,
yeah.
Do these choices make you feel good? Or did it leave you empty and sad?
Yeah.
Let's think about that.
I know, it's a tough balance. It is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, wait, what is that sparkly cup that you just sipped from?
Oh my God, I got this after J-Lo did the halftime show at the Super Bowl, because I was like, what is that cup that she has?
This right here is our friendship in the world.
You're not wrong. First of all, I have to have my name on my cup because I constantly lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, you know what cup I won't lose? This one. Ever. I got this off of Etsy. It was a Black-owned company. I think it was called Luminous Treasures.
Ooh.
There's never ever too much bling. She makes them by hand, so this was handmade for me.
Oh, dang.
Support Black-owned shops.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if we're.
I think we're at the. Yep, we're at time. That was it. That was so fun.
Really fun.
So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And this session has been offered in support of Step Up, the mentorship nonprofit supporting girls on their way to confidence and careers. Please consider donating to Step Up. They do a lot of incredible work for young women. And thanks for talking friendship with me, friend.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I love you.
I love you too.
Have a
Okay,
good
see you
day.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.